A very good morning. Welcome to Global Online. Now here we are back with our NTA UGC NET preparation for 2023 examination. That is for paper 1. As you all know that we have started with our revision series in order to solve previous year question papers, that is 21 and 22. So today we are going to take 2021 papers with explanation and for the topic that is research aptitude. We have yesterday done 2022 papers. Today we are going to do 2021. Before we go ahead, let's quickly have a look what does Global Online has to offer you all for. So Global Online has brought a study material for you all for these following subjects. These are the subjects for which the study material is available, which you can see on the screen. This particular subjects are available at this given WhatsApp number. So you can get in touch with us with this given WhatsApp number. The fees is rupees 1600, but right now we are giving a 20% off. So the fees is at the cost of 1280. If you're looking something for a quick revision for paper 1 also, yes, we do have a quick revision for paper 1. For paper 1, the quick revision is with respect to 2000 plus MCQs, updated MCQs, current affairs, short notes, previous year question papers, and most repeated questions. This is available at a fee of cost of rupees 699. In order to join the same or to get the facility of this PDF, you can get in touch with us on these WhatsApp number, which is reflected on the screen. So now let's start with the question number 1 for the day. So yes, I have written also which shift this paper is basically from. So let's have a look now for the question number 1. So the question number 1 is talking about if a researcher has to test a hypothesis, whether the difference between the means of the two groups are significant or not. For that, she or he, the researcher, will use what? Either the researcher will use a chi-square test or a correlation coefficient or a sign test or a student's t-test. So if you remember, this type of question has also came in previous year examination, but the question was in a different form. So here it is talking about a researcher has to test hypothesis. What is the meaning of hypothesis? That is a tentative statement. So in order to test the hypothesis whether the difference between the two groups or is significant or not, and for that the researcher has to use a chi-square, a correlation coefficient, sign test or a student's test. So what basically will be used in order to understand the difference between the means of two groups, whether it is significant or not. And for that, definitely the researcher will be using which type of test. So let's see. I'm giving a time of 1 minute to everyone so that you can come, you can come for, you can come with the right answer. So basically, when we talk about the test, okay, when we talk about this particular test, so at that time, the right answer will be student's t-test. Now let's see. First of all, what is t-test? It is nothing but a test that compares two means of sample. So here, see, it is direct question is given. If you know exactly the meaning of t-test, it is written that comparison between the means of two groups. Two groups, that means two samples. It is used in hypothesis testing. So chi-square, z-test, t-test, ANOVA test, at least you should know the meaning. They are giving the basic questions out of that. So t-test is also the test, okay, that compares two samples. It is used in hypothesis testing, okay, with a difference of what in the groups. So yes, for the first question, the right answer is what? The right answer is student's t-test, okay. Now, we are getting question number 2. So question number 2 is given as a statement question. There are two statements. Statement number 1 is parametric statistics are more powerful than non-parametric statistics. So here they're talking about what? The question is on parametric statistics, okay. Or you can tell us test, no problem. It is based on, it's more powerful than non-parametric. So obviously you need to know what is the meaning of parametric statistics. Statement 2 is talking about parametric statistics are assumption-free statistics. So let's first understand. You have to tell whether the statement is true, false, or it is, it's false. One is false, other is true, and vice versa. So if we talk about parametric statistics, it is nothing but a branch of statistics which assumes the sample data which comes from a population. So basically, when we talk about parametric, okay, it is nothing but independent sample, okay, test, or you can also tell us as paired sample. Okay, like for example, it is one way, ANOVA is an example. Whereas in non-parametric, okay, it is something which is, basically, it is talking about what? Non-parametric is the one which speaks about the following. Like for example, it is something which is basically, in the form of what? In the form of two sample. Okay. So now in simple words, okay, still to come closer to the answer, if I tell parametric is something which is paired, okay, parametric, which is something which is, which shows about the correlation, which talks about what? Which talks about independent samples. Okay. So let's here again read the statement. Parametric statistics are more powerful than non-parametric statistics, and parametric statistics are assumption-free statistics. So which statement is right, which statement is wrong? We need to understand that very well. Okay, so still if you have one doubt, I'll just tell you when parametric is used. So comparing means, more than two samples, we use parametric. It is basically comparing the variances of two samples, and it is used for large samples. So yes, this much also explanation, if you have understood very well, you will be able to understand the right answer. So yes, parametric is more powerful than non-parametric, very true. But parametric statistics are assumption-free statistics. No, it is false. Okay, so statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. Coming to next question, that is question number 3. So question number 3 is basically what? Question number 3 is basically exploratory studies mainly aim at developing hypothesis or questions for further research. Whereas statement 2 talks about what? The goal of formal study is to test the hypothesis or answer the questions posed. So you have to again find out the statement is true or not. Exploratory studies mainly aim at developing hypothesis or question for the further research. Okay, it says that, and the goal of formal study is to test the hypothesis and answer the question which is given or which is posed. Okay, so in basic, for this particular topic, we should know what is exploratory studies. So it means it is nothing but a method of or a approach that explores research questions. Okay, that basically talks about what? Exploring the research questions that is not previously studied. So here they are talking about what? It is at developing hypothesis or questions for further research, and the goal is to basically ensure that the test to test the hypothesis or to answer the question. So from both the given statements, okay, both the statements are true. Yes, exploratory research is for developing the hypothesis, and statement 2 is the goal of formal study is to test the hypothesis or answer the question which is posed. So yes, both the statements stands to be true. Now, coming to question number 4. So question number 4 is about meta-analysis. So let's see what is the question basically. So the question is talking about which of the following are the stages of meta-analysis research. So what is meta-analysis? So meta-analysis is nothing but it is a quantitative, it is a formal study which is used systematically in order to come to a result. Okay, so it is understanding the literature, conduct the new studies, develop the inclusion and exclusion, locating primary studies, or identifying secondary data. So it is understanding the literature, meta-analysis. It is about understanding the literature, conducting new studies, developing the inclusion and exclusion, locating primary studies, or identifying the secondary data. So from the above, which indicates that it is, the following are the stages of meta studies. So let's see. So yes, understanding the literature, yes, as I said, it is a part of what? It is a part of quantitative, formal, and systematic access to the research. So yes, it is understanding literature. It develops the inclusion and exclusion criteria, and it locates the primary study. So these all following concepts are a part of what? Are a part of meta-analysis. Okay. Coming to question number 5. Now question number 5 is which of the following method is commonly used in anthropological research? So we are talking about what? We are talking about anthropological research. So basically it means about a research about the society, about human societies or a culture. Okay. So in that, whether the case study method is used, whether the ethnographic method is used, whether the life history method is used, or whether the survey method is used. So whether it is a case study method, whether it is ethnographic method, whether it is a life history method, or whether it is a survey method. So which method will be used in this anthropological research? So when we talk about anthropological research, definitely ethnographic, because it is a study of a culture, or it is a study of what? Human society. So just see how they have twisted the question. Anthropological study, if you remember what it is, or it research is for what, so you will be definitely getting answer in the form of what? It is a part, nothing but it is a part of ethnographic research. Okay. Now coming to question number 6. Now question number 6 is in using the hypothetic deductive research paradigm in using the hypothetic deductive research paradigm, which of the following sequence is considered appropriate? So which is the right sequence? Whether hypothesis making, testing, arriving at a generalization and conclusion, establishing a research problem, hypothesis making, hypothesis testing, or arriving at a generalization and conclusion. Hypothesis making, establishing a research problem, hypothesis testing, arriving at a generalization and conclusion, or hypothesis testing and hypothesis making, finalizing the problem, or arriving at a generalization and conclusion. So it is talking about what? It is talking about a sequence of hypothetic deductive, okay, hypothetic deductive research. So which basically talks about this. So let's see. Okay, we are talking about what? We are talking about hypothetic deductive research. So in that, if you're talking about this type of research, okay, which of the steps, okay, will be a part of what? Will be a part of your research steps. So it is nothing but it is called as, a procedure in order to construct a scientific theory, okay, which definitely will come with the help of observation, experimentation, and it will give you the conclusion. So for that, which are the right steps which will be a part? So in hypothetic deductive research, okay, establishing a research problem, hypothesis making, hypothesis testing, or arriving at a generalization and conclusion will be the right sequence. That is coming with a problem, then making a hypothesis, okay, or then coming up with what? Coming up with so basically, this is what it will be a result in: establishing a research problem, hypothesis making, hypothesis testing, or arriving at a generalization and a conclusion. Okay. Now coming to question number 7. Question number 7 is about which of the following research procedure will figure under a post-positivistic approach. Now post-positivistic approach and positivistic approach, I've taken this approaches, very well. So whether it is normative survey, experimental survey, ethnographic survey, or ex post facto study, we are talking about what? Research procedure under post-positivistic approach. So whether it is normative, whether it is experimental, whether it is ethnographic, or whether it is ex post facto. So basically, this is what? It is nothing but it is called as what? Ethnographic. So we are talking about post-positivistic. So it is something, the research procedure will be in the form of what? It will be in the form of ethnographic research. Okay. Coming to question number 8. Now, the college teacher plans a research program in which he intends to improve the social aspect of the classroom climate during teaching. So, which of the following research methods will be considered appropriate in this context? So, yes, we have a teacher who is planning a research program in which the teacher intends to improve the social economic aspect of the classroom teaching. Which of the following research method will be considered appropriate? Whether it is experimental, whether it is descriptive, whether it is historical, or whether it is action research. So from the following, which will be turned to be, which will be turned to be appropriate, whether it is experimental, descriptive, historical, or action. So from the following, yes, the one which turns to be appropriate is the action research method. C. It is no which gives you immediate solution. So it will improve the socio-economical aspect, okay, during what? During the teaching. So this will give you, the result will be action research. Question number 9, we talk about which of the following steps in research are least vulnerable to research ethics. Okay, so identifying the research variables, defining the research variables, data collection procedure, or data analysis or reporting. So which turns out to be, least vulnerable. So where, it is not impacted it is impacted in the least form, okay, to research ethics. So let's see in the following steps, which are those steps which are least vulnerable to research ethics. Will be basically the steps of identifying the research variables and defining, because rest of the part, okay, whether it is reporting, analysis, or collected, here the research ethics is highly vulnerable, okay, it is highly present. So the least vulnerable will be research variables, identification, and the definition of the research variables. Now, the personalistic styles of writing a research report are permissible in which of the following research? So when we are talking about the personalistic styles of writing a research report are permissible in which of the following? Grounded research theory, or experimental, or participant, or historical, or case study. So where do we find, writing a research report are permissible? So from the given options, obviously it will be for what? It will be for grounded theory, yes. It will be for participant observation, yes. And it will be for case study. So the personalistic, okay, it means, the style of writing a research are permissible, wherein grounded theory, where everything is from the scratch, participant observation, as well as the case study. Okay. So yes, these are the 10 questions which we have done for 2021. Some 2-3 questions I included, which I felt important for 2020 also. But these are the questions which we have included. Again, tomorrow we'll come up with a new topic for 2022, a new set of questions. So stay tuned. Just make sure that you're revising, you're repeating the questions very well, taking some important points, and ensuring that you have done your best for your upcoming examination. Okay.